Hi friends, it's Amanda Mae and this is my channel Ardith Design, where we celebrate counted cross stitch and quilting and sustainable stitching and all the things. If you are new, welcome, and if you are returning, welcome back to my channel. I sure do appreciate you. This week I have some finishes to show you. I have, well, by finishes I mean one finish. I have a red house that I finally built. I would love to show you in cross stitch, of course. My haul for this week, or stash acquisitions, and some Happy Mail. And then the second week of my Needleworkers in the News segment. I got a lot of really positive feedback about it, so we're gonna do that again as well. I also want to thank everyone who participated in my giveaway last week. It's going to go on for one more week. If you did not see my video last week, go ahead and jump on back for last week's video and see, but I'll just give a little refresher. My Petite Red Sampler series, I have 2 out right now. Count the Cups, Count the Saucers, and I'm going to have my 3rd release very soon. And you need to, if you would like to enter, you just have to tell me what you think my 3rd sampler is going to be based on this clue. I got so many good guesses last week, and it's exciting to see what people think of when they see this. And so I'm going to do the drawing of the giveaway next week, so it'll be Flosstube video 89. This is Flosstube 88. Today is March 19th, 18th, one of those days. It's a Tuesday. My children are happy, having children time while I video. I don't know. I don't even know what they're doing. Hopefully they're safe. I got them one of those little gymnastics bars to flip on, so they might be flipping out in the other room. My joke for my husband was, when I told you I needed you to install a bar in my house, I'm sure this is not what you had in mind. I know, I'm ridiculous. Let's get started. I will show you my finish for the week, and that is Barbara Anna, and this is her pattern, The Key, and I absolutely love it. I stitched it on 28 count Deep Caribbean by Silk Weaver. This was a linen that I got in the prize pack from Just Cross Stitch magazine, and I really love this linen. I actually reached out to Silk Weaver, being a fangirl. I'm like, hi, I love your linen. And I'm very happy. I had a question about my Petite Sampler series and what fabric I'm stitching that on. And it is on Silk Weaver Midas Touch Wexford linen 32 count. And if you stitch them, all of them are designed that if you stitch them on a 32 count fabric, they will fit in a standard 5 by 7 inch frame. For all of you across the world, I apologize, I cannot think of the centimeter conversion, what that is. I'm sorry. Silly Americans. One day maybe we'll embrace the metric system, but today is not that day. I love this so much. I used a combination of Sulky, Color and Cotton, DMC, Victorian Motto Sampler shop threads. I think that's it. So Adobe is on her cheek. That's Color and Cotton. And then the Parchment from Victorian Motto is the Goose, all of her. And then this is the DMC 783, which is in most of the Barbara Anna patterns that I have stitched. That's kind of one of her universal colors, and I see now why. It is lovely. I love this so much. I am working on the second one, which is the light. I haven't put any stitches in that one, and it's the fox. What does the fox say? That's been a big hit in my house. I don't know about anybody else. That and Baby Shark, but we are not doing that. I promise. So I really like the skirt and the geometric design, and I love her big skirt and then her tiny little shoes. I'm not sure how I'm gonna finish her. If I might put her on one of the cutting board things and put her up on the wall. I have a Barbara Anna piece that I bought on eBay. All of a sudden I forget what it's called. Here Lies My Heart, or it's the woman with the red hair that's like flowing in the back and the big bustle skirt. And I put her on a board. I should have brought her to show you. I always have these ideas of what to show you after I start filming. And my children do not let me edit videos. So that's why I've no longer been editing or adding intro music or any of that stuff, because if I don't get it in one take, I don't put it up on the YouTubes. So that's my finish. I would love to do my Needleworker news, or what's good in the Needleworker industry this week. I have a couple things to share. The first is Caterpillar Cross Stitch is having their 5-month Stitch Along series, and it's starting at the end of this month, May 29th. And the theme of it is positivity rules. Love that slogan. I love the custom needle minder even more. Oh my gosh, like enamel. It's gorgeous with the rainbow. You know, everyone, my name is Amanda Mae and my favorite color is rainbow. So she had me at that needle minder. Anyway, you can get either like the PDF, just the pattern, or you can get the whole shebang kit from her. She's located in the UK. So shipping right now, she does say on her website that there are delays, but she's doing her best. And she said that the full kit, if you purchase from it, she's donating a percentage of the positivity rules to the National Health Service or the NHS charities. So that's very cool. So that's Caterpillar Cross Stitch. I will have the link below. The second shout out I have is I would like to shout out Emily C. of Eclectic Possessions. I am shouting her out this week as a needleworker who is sharing positivity, and I really enjoyed her last video. I will have it linked below. She discussed a 9-patch quilt that her mother made for her, and she talked about enveloping herself, or talking about the familiarity of a 9-patch quilt, and in difficult times it's nice to have something familiar and I don't know, the comfort of familiarity in tumultuous times. So shout out to her for not only her beautiful colors. If you are not watching Emily C, I would suggest that you do. She has a completely different color palette and aesthetic than I do, but I feel like the universal stitching language, we can all find commonalities and joy in what others are stitching. And I love watching her discuss her color choices and why she does what she does. And I find her to be a very intriguing woman. So she inspired me to make a couple of 9 patches. And I have more that I need to sew together. These are all the remnants from the masks that I'm making for the men in my life, and I had to make some new adjustments for the masks based on being larger sized, men that are larger, and also accommodating for facial hair. So I have been making more masks, and my remnants I'm using to make the 9 patches, thanks to Emily. And then I'm going to sew them into little carrying bags for your masks. Right now, you know, my husband has to go to work, and he has the masks that he takes to work because, you know, you put them on and it's allergy season or whatever. It's not if you use one, put it in a bag, and then put a new fresh one on from another bag so you're not cross-contaminating. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice to have like the 9-patch little bag with the zipper and everything, and that so after work, you know, you put everything to be cleaned, including the bags that they're in, but while you're at work, you have that sense of familiarity and comfort in these difficult times. And I feel like this the quilted bag will be that. That's shout out to Emily C. Thank you. My third shout out is to Anna, and she is a Russian designer. She has a Facebook group. I will have it linked below. It is a closed group. I am not affiliated with her in any way, but I saw a really cool video of hers. She shows a flip through of her 23-page book comprised of words and all in cross stitch, the words, and then a corresponding design as you flip the book. She is making the book available for free, but you have to join her group. I am not part of her group. I just saw her video and loved the idea of the alternative cross stitch finishes. And she's literally made a book out of designs. I want to also say, so Anna, and it's Art Mishka, and I'll have it linked below, Art Mishka cross stitch. And I'm shouting her up because of her her book finishes for designs. Oh, I'm getting tongue tied, excuse me. Another person using books to help finish or as a finishing platform is Michelle Bindi Stitchy. She just showed in her last video, I will have linked below, where she is utilizing gifted junk journals to mount and finish her small cross-stitch designs that she doesn't want to turn into bookmarks, doesn't want to make into drums, or have, you know, at some point, most of us, our horizontal space where we can display things can be quite limited. So she's putting her smalls inside the journal, the art journals, and having them compacted, which is awesome. If you have ever looked at the museum collections for ephemera, needlework, the sampler books, older scrapbooks, and the books open up and they'll have letters, maybe stitching attached, and the ephemera of the time. So it's not a new concept, but I love that people are discussing different ways of finishing needlework, and doing it in book form has really caught my eye this week. It's probably caught my eye this week because I have been reading The Good Thread, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Those are my 3, 4, 5, lots of shout outs this week. So Needleworkers and the news. If you have a needleworker in your life that you would like me to feature on an upcoming segment, go ahead and comment below and let me know. The links for everyone I've just discussed will also be below. I believe in spreading good news and good ideas for needleworkers across the world. All right. What should we talk about next? Oh, should we talk about Happy Meal? I got some mail. It's been months and months and months, and then I got some mail and I got really excited, and I might have ugly cried a little bit. I did ugly cry a lot. I did. Thank you. Let me show you what I got in the mail. I got a wonderful, just wonderful note from Diana. It is Kismet Stitches. Thank you so much for your positivity and for being such a delightful human. Thank you so much. Then I got from Jill in Canada. She sent me a really lovely card. Thank you, Jill. And I made a side comment about being out of cayenne, my favorite red. And she sent me some cayenne. So thank you so much, Jill. I really appreciate you. It's so nice. And then the third thing I got in the mail, oh my gosh. Again, I won't ugly cry over here, I promise. I got a really nice card from Michelle Garrett. And she sent me this pattern that I had really wanted to stitch, and it's called Sunflower House by the Work Basket. I love it. And what I think I love even more about it is the sunflowers are charted in fragrant cloves gentle art, which, as you all know, is my favorite orange. And then I've oscillated between fragrant cloves being my favorite orange and now Color and Cotton's jack-o'-lantern being my favorite orange. Nevertheless, I'm so excited to have this pattern and I would love to stitch it. The pattern says that you can stitch it either all in cross stitch, the whole thing, or you can do the specialty stitches, and the centers of the sunflowers here are all done. Each center is a different specialty stitch if you choose to do that. And that is the padded stitch, 1/1, vertical elongated cross, large Smyrna cross, French knots, 6 strand or number 6 is eyelet, excuse me. Eyelet, and then the woven stitch and 4-sided stitch, so that you could use some or all to have the sampler of specialty stitches going down. And the frame is really fun. I don't have that frame, but I really like it. If I stitch it, I don't think I will do this border. I might just do the house and sunflowers. I think it's so wonderful. And I guess I'm gonna, now there, I gotta have a sunflower wall. I have not worked at all on my bouquet of sunshine, but I'm working on this one right now, the center piece, and I love it. I love sunflowers. They're so happy. Every year I say I'm gonna plant them and then I never do. And then it's sunflower season. I'm like, why didn't I do that? The foresight, right? You gotta know ahead of time. So thank you everyone for your happy mail. I really appreciate it. It's so nice. And anyway, okay, I'll put this away over here. Let's talk about, should we talk about the book really fast? Yeah. The Golden Thread. I have been reading this not in order. Like the chapters are kind of isolated on their own. And I just finished reading the chapter on Viking sails, the wool Viking sails and the ships sailing over to the Americas. And I really wanted to thank all of you for your feedback about my comment several weeks ago about needlework in America. There are tons of resources. There's even like the Museum of International Folk Art that features textiles and woven and handcrafts. They're out of New Mexico, and I'll try to link them down below. But there's such a rich history of needlework in America and in North America, including indigenous handwork. And while it is the 400th year of the anniversary of the Mayflower landing, let us not forget that needlework existed in the Americas before that. And as this book also reminds us, the Viking ships landed in Newfoundland They assume up to 500 years before Christopher Columbus landed in the Americas. So really fun to talk about textiles and history and how the archaeology, how they're excavating and digging and finding the woven materials. And if they're not finding the physical materials, they're finding the imprints of the warp and weft of linen within the rock or within clay, where it's the imprint over time. So it's really cool. I will have a link to this book below. I'm excited. The next chapter I think I'm going to read is on fabrics and going into space, into outer space, and the different fabrics utilized for travel, for space travel. So there we go. There's also a book that I want to read. It's called Sleeping Around, or it's all about the bed and the canopy bed and the coverlets, woven coverlets, and all of that. That looks really interesting too. I know, rabbit hole. So there's that book. All right. I worked on 3 projects this week that I cannot show you because I am model stitching them, but fingers crossed I will have them to show soon. In the meantime, I did finish my red house. My husband's so funny. So see how this hill is right here? He thought I was stitching where the whole house comes down all the way down, like to the 90-degree angle point. So he's watching me and he goes, that looks so complicated. Do you really have to leave that huge gap? Like, how are you going to fill that in? No, honey, I'm building the house and then I got to put the lawn in. Oh, okay. I keep telling him, you tell me anytime and I will teach you how to stitch. So there is the house I built. I'm so excited. I do need to finish in the window here. All the window panes I gotta fill in. But this was so fun and I'm excited to move on. I have all of my time has been on model stitching and looking forward to future releases. I am excited. I am getting stuff. I will say, spoilers, I will say that I am working on my Jolly July release. And for all of you who are wondering what Jolly July is, it's also called Flossmas or Stitchmas. Those terms are used by different needleworkers, different people in our community. And basically it's stitching holiday themed designs in the month of July. Holiday could be solstice, Yule, Yuletide blessings, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa designs, Christmas designs, and just general winter holiday merriment designs. So the all-encompassing beautiful holiday season, and I will be releasing a design if you would like to stitch it in the month of July. Very excited. I feel like I've said too much already. So I'm really excited about that. I want to talk about my 2 things that I bought this week. I'm kind of shaking my head because I impulse purchased what I'm about to show you. And in my mind, my rationalization was, well, I'll just use it and I'll dye it and I can make all the things, right? Hashtag make all the things. I will say I also panic bought, which I don't recommend. Hello, my name is Amanda Mae, and I purchased my first ever cones of DMC 6-strand embroidery floss in brilliant white. As an indication, the dye lot is the same, and I was laughing at the dye lot because they are brilliant white. And yes, I learned that over dyeing something, if it has been dyed to white and then you dye it again, that is over dyeing. Just if you have a bright orange and you want to over dye it with browns to subdue the orange, that is also over dyeing. So if it's already been treated with some sort of color and then you dye it again, that's over dyed. So I learned that. 475 yards per cone. I have not opened these bad boys up. It was an eBay panic buy. That's all I will say. Yeah. All right. My next purchase, I put in these are like they say they're like a wet bag, but I'm not going to test trying to get them wet to see if, anyway. I put my little lanyard thing. I wrote this. I do want to take a picture of the chart and put it in so I can see it better. But I have it in the bag nonetheless. I made a working copy of my chart. I've been hearing from a lot of people that they don't use working copies. And there's no right or wrong answer to working copies other than do what makes you comfortable. If you can stitch without marking up a pattern and you can look at that in the analytical and you can look and you can see the lines and you can count and you get it and you don't need a working copy, that's awesome. If you need 5 working copies, that's awesome too. You do you. The only thing is you don't share working copies, right? So when I'm done with my working copy, it's mine alone. You don't sell it and you don't share it. So I think that's the only rules for working copies. I like to make my copies on cardstock because I like them standing up in attention, much like my linen, and I like them crisp and up in case I don't have them on my low ran magnetic board. So I like having them so not on just regular printer paper. So all of that to say, I purchased my first ever drawn thread chart kit pack. I got it online, and it is the Hearts and Flowers, the Violet sampler, and I am so excited about this. So excited. I got it, and it came with the Krynic Soie d'Alger floss and the Karen water lilies, all of which I've never used. And yes, my name is Amanda Mae. I have never stitched with silk before, never. So I am excited to try my first ever. This is Hyacinth, gorgeous. And then all of these are just very pretty, muted, subdued colors. And I'm really excited. And I looked up the Krynic to see about, I really wanted to learn more about their silks and how they import and everything, but their stuff was still closed. And fun fact, they're out of West Virginia, which is the state over there. Oh, sorry. I'm in Maryland, by the way, in case anybody wondered. So those colors, and then the chart also came with, or the kit, excuse me, with these like amethyst hearts and a little dragonfly charm. Hello, everything that I love. Amethysts, violets, hopefully silks. And then it came with this finishing, I don't know what this is. I've got to research this more. It looks like a ribbon. I don't know where I put it. And then it has the Witchelt 28 count dark lavender mist. And I haven't even opened it up yet, but it looks like I do need to sew down my corners. But that lavender is so pretty. I was watching Megan, the Wide-Eyed Stitching Child, and she just purchased Moon Garden by Blackbird Designs. It looks like that was stitched on the same colored fabric. So I am putting Moon Garden into my wish list for things to stitch, because wouldn't it be pretty to have this and Moon Garden next to each other? So this, it's the violets, and it says, now fades the last of winter's snow. Thick by ashen roots, the violets grow. We have wild violets all everywhere. They're actually right now just petering out for the season. But the wild violets come first, and then the daffodils. So this was on my mind, and I love it. I've never seen this stitched in real life. I'm just very excited to have this and to try this. I don't normally purchase a lot of stuff, and I just wanted this. So I made an impulse purchase, which was DMC cones of floss. And then this, and again, I love it, and I will report back soon about the silks. I know that many stitchers have made the comment that with dry hands and like washing your hands a lot, the silks can get caught, and also then so that they're not as enjoyable to stitch with. I've also heard that some people like the sound of the floss being pulled through the fabric, the resonance sound of cotton rather than silk. It has a different tonal resonance. I'm excited to test both of those things out. I love learning new things, trying new things, and stitching all the things. All right. If you, again, giveaway, go post on last week's video. And oh my gosh, I'm so thankful for all of you. Thank you for joining me this week. Thank you for all of your comments. You can always reach out to me. My email is down below. I will say that it's easier for me to correspond through email and YouTube comments, other than if you message me like on Facebook. That's hard for me, but I'm doing the best that I can. So if you have any questions, I would love it if you liked and subscribed to my channel. I am so grateful. I'm almost at 1,800 subscribers, and at 2,000 subscribers, I'm going to do a big giveaway. I'm not there yet, but I'm also quickly, I don't know, 4 or 5 months coming up to my Flosstube 2-year anniversary. So the wheels are turning about how to celebrate that coming up. Oh, my new temporary tattoos for the week are 2 happy dinosaurs and tulip flowers. The glow-in-the-dark space tattoos have been the hit of the week. I personally love the dinosaurs, but they don't glow in the dark. So you win some, you lose some. I have also been doing a lot of obstacle courses with the children. And by me doing them, I mean I sit and watch them and then film them, like that hyper-vigilant mother that I am. So the obstacle courses have been a big hit. I am trying to explain to them that they're still too young for water balloons. So I don't know if I'm going to win that. Oh, and my son is turning 3 next month and has requested a shark cake. So I ordered shark gummies, the little gummies. Last year, we went to a restaurant, and during Shark Week, the celebration, they had these kids drinks, and it was like blue Sprite. So blue curacao and Sprite, and then they put the shark gummy in the drink. Oh my gosh, the kids loved it. And with everything happening, I ended up actually buying some blue curacao and making them the blue Sprites, but they're like, where's the sharks? And then they said, I want a shark cake. I am not a baker. Well, I bake, but I'm not a decorator. So all of these beautiful cake decorating videos and all the beautiful things, I'm like, that's gorgeous. I would be on an episode of Nailed It? Is that what it's called? I would be, oh my gosh. So I am going to attempt a chocolate cherry cake with whipped cream frosting, but I'm going to try to dye it blue. I'm hoping the cherry chunks aren't too morbid, and because it's a shark cake within the cherries look. So I'm trying to figure out how to navigate this. It came from, at first I was going to make a dirt cake. And so I was going to get the gummy worms, and then in a food processor, you blend up Oreo cookies, or like the cookies that make them look like dried dirt. And then you use like chocolate pudding and then a chocolate cake. And that's what I was going to do. So it went from worm cake to now shark cake. Common thread: chocolate, cherries, and gummies. And sugar rush. It's going to be an adventure. For sure. I know. Hashtag make all the things. Excuse me for my tangent. Thank you for visiting with me this week. I just want you to know that you matter. Your stitching matters. And I'll see you next week. Okay, take care.